10 men reckon they could qualify for the 2028 Olympics if they started training today. 12% feel they could run 100 metres in under 15 seconds.
Ooh, I wonder what age category though. It's clearly not
it's kind of our age group, is it? It doesn't say.
Aye, but there's other surveys that do that, like the amount of percentage of men that thinks they could beat up a lion. It's like really high.
I don't fancy
doing
that.
You know, if a lion
either.
came at you, there's like something like 70% of men think they
maybe
could
after he's had breakfast, I
lion.
would give it a go, but not before breakfast.
Yeah.
What do you think then?
Read that again. 7 out of 10 of us.
4 in 10 men reckon
Yeah.
they could qualify for the 2028 Olympics. Could we put in the practice now?
silly.
Go, let's look.
I
Start
wonder
training
what
today.
categories.
I
So
don't
hard,
know.
like-
There probably is a category for our age group.
No harm to them, but I don't think the majority of them or us.
100 metres in 15 seconds. Is 100 metres far, is it?
It is, yeah.
How
Oh,
far?
It's about
half a
twice
mile.
as far as 50 metres.
Right. That's far then.
Yeah. I don't think
You
those,
do the first 50 and I'll do the second
I don't
50.
think those 4 boys could win those 4 out of 10 could win the egg and spoon race at the kids' sports day if they
Right, okay.
But anyway,
yeah.
can't beat a bit of denial.
Yeah. So you're not putting on the runners. What's this big raffle
We've
drum
£2,000
thing?
to give away, and
Yeah, there's
people
£4
need to get their
today.
tickets. Yeah, well, I'm only interested in my show, you know.
Right. Is
I'm
that
only
the way-
joking.
No, I know.
The draw drum is going to be in here between 9 and 11. Then it's going to Rafo with John. It's exciting.
The drum's going to Rafo.
It is, yes.
God, they're going to
because
need a big van
it's
for that. We have a big van?
live. Yeah,
God.
the draw's live. So we've
That's
£2,000
great.
to give away. Just to remind listeners, there's 6 chances to win a share of €20,000. Now is your time to get your tickets. I can't emphasise that enough because the lines close at 10 a.m. sharp. So get on the website, highlandradio.com, or give us a call here, 074 91 25,000. If you want your tickets and you want to be in all 6 draws, you really do need to get on now because we might have to call some of you back.
Yeah, and it's just as handy to jump online as well. Do you know, hit a couple of buttons, boom, it's done, isn't it?
Yes, but people like to ring into
I like to talk too. Do you know
people
that?
have their minds made up what way they want to do it at this
Yeah,
stage, and
of
I'm not going to,
Yeah.
try and influence them otherwise.
All right, you're doing a good job. All right, have a nice weekend.
What are you doing for the weekend?
Oh, I have a list of wee jobs to be doing now.
Nothing nice?
No, nothing too
Summer
exciting.
sessions, no?
Don't know. Don't think so, no.
You could be convinced, yeah?
I could be, yeah, I've got a ticket.
We'll see.
We'll see how it goes. Good luck.
All right, look after yourself.
All right, good luck.
It is the Greg Hughes Show here in Highland Radio. 9 o'clock. Our Friday panel is going to join us to debate some of the big stories of the day and the week. But first, let's get a news update across to Donald Kavanagh.
Thank you, Greg. Good morning. Ishka Aaron says water supplies are beginning to recover in the northwest, but no decision has been made on whether to extend the hosepipe ban. The current ban was initially put in place across the south and east, but extended nationwide 3 weeks ago due to exceptionally warm and dry weather, along with high water demand. Mairead Conlon, Asset Strategy Manager at Ishka Aaron, says a decision will be made closer to the time.
We have had recovery in the northwest area, but if we look at the southeast, we have had very little rain. When we're looking at water conservation orders, we don't want to put them in place, say, if we don't have to. We do understand it is a significant impact to customers, and we really appreciate when customers work with us on them. So we don't want to put it in place if we don't have to. So we won't be making the decision until near the time when we can look at the long-term weather forecast, and the weather forecasts change all the time.
There's been progress in waiting times for spinal patients at Children's Health Ireland. Outpatient departments have also seen a drop in wait times for appointments. Tina O'Dwyer has more.
104 patients are currently on the active spinal surgery waiting list. Since January this year, 229 procedures have been added to the surgical waiting list, while 279 spinal surgeries have been carried out in the same time frame. These people are completing their pre-operative assessments to ensure they're ready for surgery and will be due for an admission date in the future. Meanwhile, Children's Health Ireland says OPD waiting times have almost halved over the past year. The average wait time for an outpatient department appointment is now 3.9 months, down significantly from 7.4 months at the same time in 2025.
Banking and Payments Federation Ireland is welcoming the anti-national money laundering strategy. Taoiseach and Finance Minister Simon Harris says the strategy will strengthen Ireland's response to financial crime by making it more difficult for criminals to remove illegal funds. Brian Hayes, the Chief Executive, says it's important that information is shared at every level.
Obviously, as Irish banks, we're in the front line working closely with government, on Garda Síochána, the central bank and others to make sure that we detect all of the suspicious transactions that are there. We have been calling for the past number of years for a shared fraud database which would allow participating members and banks working closely with government and Garda Síochána to make sure that the things that we are seeing across the sector are properly reported,
And Gardaí and Letterkenny have issued traffic advice ahead of the Summer Sessions concerts in the town over the next 3 days. They say they want to ensure there's as little disturbance as possible to residents and others using the roads. With more, here's Ryan Brawley.
Gardaí say they are adopting a zero-tolerance approach to parking infringements in the environs of the venue. Those attending are asked not to park on the N56 Ballyrain to Knocknamona roundabout, Gortley Road, Kiltoy Road or in any other area which may cause disruption to local residents. They have also urged patrons not to park in an illegal manner and ensure that access for emergency services are not blocked. With large crowds expected, they have advised people to use the park and ride services which have been organised by event management. A link to more information on that service can be found on our website, highlandradio.com.
And the weather forecast quite cloudy today with just limited sunny spells and a few showers feeding in from the Atlantic. Top temperature 17 to 21 degrees Celsius, coolest in the northwest with a light to moderate northwesterly breeze. That's Highland Radio News. We're back with news again at 10 o'clock.
So, to help you get over your fear of phone watch, I want to try a bit of word association. Just say whatever comes into your head after each word I say, okay? Peace.
Long gone.
Home.
Alarm.
Window.
Motion sensors.
Front door.
Video doorbell.
Time.
15 seconds.
Trevor, these words are supposed to be neutral.
They were, until Phone Watch added all the good stuff to their alarms. Get the alarm Burglar's Fear for just €59. Don't be alarmed. Be phone watched. Offer ends August 31st. Monitoring fees and terms apply.
The Talk of the Northwest, the Greg Hughes Show on Highland Radio.
Hello and a very good morning to you. Happy Friday. It's the 14th of August 2026 and it's 4 minutes past 9 and we've got a packed 2 hours coming up for you. Hopefully we're going to have a chat with Mark English following his European glory last night. We've got live music for you in studio and £2,000 to give away. All that after we introduce our Friday panel. But before I do, just to invite you to get involved in the conversation. You always keep us really busy on the text and phone lines, and it's greatly appreciated. 086 60 25,000 is the WhatsApp and the text number. 086 60 25,000. Give us a call on 07491 25,000 or email comments at highlandradio.com. Emer McGuinness is manager of Donegal Mark. Good morning, Emer.
Good morning, Greg. It's lovely to see a lovely female panel this morning.
It is, do you know, and you wouldn't believe how hard it is to assemble a female member of the panel, let alone to get three powerful women at the same time. It truly is it's like the eclipse. It's once in a generation, isn't it? Dr. Michelle Maher is her elected programme manager. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, Greg. And I thought the same thing when I tuned in this morning and saw that it was three women on the panel. Fair play to you.
Exactly. It's hard to put into words how hard Caroline works behind the scenes to ensure we've got as broad a panel as possible every week. Professor Pat O'Connor never lets us down, Professor of Sociology and Social Policy at University of Limerick. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Greg. Great to see Highland Radio, of course, leading the pack, you know.
Yeah, of course it is. Well, you know what?
In terms of an all-female panel.
Yes.
Right?
I feel like now I'm kind of like ruining it. I feel, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. But what I'll do is I'm going to, as much as possible, keep my mouth shut. I'm going to start with you, Pat, if that's okay, because one of the topics that vexed our listeners most during the week was calls from a European group of which we're a part. And they believe that now is the time for preschool consent education. So in your ninas, in your baby schools, or whatever people want to call them. And really what it would be about is teaching them that they don't have to hug relatives if they don't want to. That if they prefer to give granny a high five rather than a hug, well then they should be making that decision. And it is all with a view to, I suppose, instilling the whole idea of consent amongst girls and boys, and the group that is suggesting this have a big interest in violence against women, domestic violence. So that is where it comes from. That's their motivation. But the question for you, Pat, is are we simply giving a name to basic personal space or are we overcomplicating very early childhood?
Well, this topic made me think. I suppose on the one hand, it sounds very reasonable. On the other hand, when I reflected on it, I thought, really, here we go again. focusing on potential victims who are actually preschool children and giving them the responsibility for defining appropriate limits of physical contact. And I thought, this is not good. Really, what we want is action on the perpetrators or potential perpetrators or adults' ideas, clarifying very clearly what are, and this has been available since, oh my God, since the 80s, right? What is appropriate contact? You know, what areas of the body are perfectly safe, what are not? So really, that was my first point after my initial. The second point is that I suddenly thought, you know, nobody is talking about personal space in the case of footballers. You know, you regularly see after a goal is scored or whatever, fellas hugging, throwing each other in the air, doing all sorts of physical things. And there has been no discussion of how this respects boys and men's physical space, or indeed girls. So that was my second thought. My third thought was, it assumes a degree of a lack of emotional intelligence on the part of grannies and grandpas, which is also kind of insulting. Most grannies and granddads will recognise when a child is holding back and will do a high five rather than a hug. I suppose this is overall in the context where I think hugs are really important, and the importance of them is reflected in the, as I say, the footballers, where, you know, there is a kind of a very safe hug, which is totally seen as appropriate, and I think very important for human beings. So overall, I had major reservations on this.
And, you know, some of the people that said that this isn't a bad idea were talking about how in their house that they won't hug the child unless the child wants a hug, or they will. And that's normal. That's exactly how you behave. That is how you respect people's space and all that. And it's done naturally. But you start introducing it as a conversation. Like I know for a fact, I don't know for a fact, sorry. I suspect if my dad was listening, just literally listening to this conversation, he might actually start second guessing, you know, his, you know, contact with his own grandchildren or great grandchildren, because then it's like, well, are we really thinking about this? Could this potentially be a bad thing?
Yeah, and I think this is a tragedy. Like, really, children need physical contact. They need hugs, right? Adults. And often they don't even, like, a child isn't going to. Oh, I mean, it's in a way, it's projecting adult knowledge onto a child in a potentially unhelpful way. I mean, in a way, I do think adults need to be aware of and educated about what is appropriate contact, and also to be sensitive. But to be honest, like, I don't know.
Well, you're
I
not
think
chasing
most people are.
you're not chasing your grandchildren around the house for a hug.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
but
Like, it's not like you're demanding it. But anyway, Michelle, what do you think? Because, you know, these are highly intelligent people. You know, Ellen O'Mahony Dunlop, she knows her stuff, and this is European wide, and they've concluded that this is the right thing to do. So it's not just an article that a journalist has written, you know, in the back quarter of the Daily Mail, and no disrespect to that, but a lot of thought has gone into this.
Yeah, when I heard it first, I thought exactly what you just said there. You know, are people, you know, is this some kind of a slow season story? Is somebody really standing up and saying you can no longer give granddad or granny a hug? I mean, I'm a big fan of hugs, and when my children used to be with, when they were young enough to be with a childminder, sometimes they came home and you'd smell her perfume off them. And I thought that was lovely, because I knew that somewhere over the course of a day while I was at work and they were with her, that they had needed a hug and they had got it and they were snuggled into her. So I suppose I kind of saw it a little bit differently to what Pat was saying there. Is I don't think this is anything to do with halting or putting some kind of something around the spontaneous affection we all have, which is innate in us, that spontaneous affection we have for each other, whether as footballers on a team or in this case to our younger children. But I did actually study it. I kind of sat, like Pat said there, and sat with this and thought, well, where is this coming from? And I think if you follow it through to its logical conclusion, conversations like this are because of those very dark statistics we have that make us force us into thinking about the consent conversation in the first place. And on Women's Aid's website, they tell us that 35%, like more than 1 in 3 women in Ireland, have experienced psychological, physical, or sexual abuse from an intimate partner. So that's kind of, I suppose, the ultimate end point.
But with that in mind, Michelle, then would the focus not be on appropriate contact rather than introducing a conversation about whether you want a hug or not? Because if we are talking about those dark statistics and that is correct, well, then let's have the conversation about what is and isn't appropriate rather than...
Yeah. I think it's what I see here is stitching it into an everyday conversation. We know that children are like sponges at 2, 3, and 4 years of age. And if at that stage they know that if they don't want to hug someone or if they don't want someone touching them, that's okay. And it's equally okay if somebody says that to them. And what we're doing, I think, is giving them the language and the confidence to say, no, I don't like this, and making it entirely normal for someone to hear that and accept it at face value. And I think the benefits of that would be huge for children as for later on in lives, because when they're at that formative 3 and 4 years of age, they're absorbing this fact that it's okay to have boundaries for yourself and for other people to have boundaries.
Yeah. But what about the innocence? I mean, we're getting to the stage now whereas if we could get into the womb and sort of start telling kids about the big bad world, we would. Where is the innocence? Because we were speaking to a teacher yesterday who's aghast at the conversations that are happening amongst 8, 9, 10-year-olds. 8-year-old girls are hyper conscious of their appearance, their weight, their eyelashes. She talked of young lads of 9, 10 years of age in the classroom rating girls on sexiness and doing it right out in the open. So the innocence is lost there, right? And now we're even going into preschool and potentially putting a bit of ick in something like it doesn't necessarily, we don't actually know if it addresses the concerns that you talk of, but we do know is that it's just another little bit of innocence that's been taken away, but we need to understand are there consequences to that?
Yeah, it's true. And the beauty industry and how it affects women at every stage of their life, and to hear now, that 8-year-olds have skin routines that would put the likes of myself to shame is just a conversation for another day. But we're not talking about having big scary conversations about sex education with 3-year-olds here. All we're doing is starting to instill so it becomes normal to them to say, I don't feel like this, not today. That they have that language, and that if there's a situation in which they feel uncomfortable, that it's okay for them to say that and to speak up and have a voice. And if that becomes normal at a very young age, I think that's a good skill for them to have as they grow older. But all of this is age appropriate.
But in terms of how we socialize as human beings, we are human beings, there is contact there and all that type of stuff. How can a 3 or 4-year-old brain really process what we're talking about here? Emer, do you want to come in on this? Because that's what I don't understand. How do they process that brain? And are we taking just are we giving up on teenagers, in-betweeners, the 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds that we talked of, and now saying, listen, you're a toddler, it's up to you? Like, as a society, are we just completely saying, here's everything that's bad, deal with it?
Yeah, no, I've been listening to everything that was said, and look, I think preschool, you just, as you said, a kid, you don't understand that. It is up to parents to that's how we grow. That's how we know what love and affection is by hugging. And we are here now discussing it, and yet we're confused by what road the conversation should take. So we're expecting this is what will happen. You know, going in to tell children that they should say it's okay and not if they don't want to hug. You know, in the home, we are taught to love and hugging and affection. It's all makes us who we are and makes us good people. I think it's the lack of that that has created all these monsters that we have in the world nowadays. I don't think we need to be talking about it, especially not the tree. You don't understand. Like, you only learn how to go to the toilet, you know, basically. You're just out of that phase.
Well, that would also form part of it where a preschool assistant would say, do you want me to help you go to the toilet? You would ask for permission.
Yeah. But, you know, to me, that you should be in a safe environment up to that. If you're not in a safe environment up to that stage, well, that is on the adults that are there to protect you and look after you. Yes, there is awful things going on in the world. I do agree there. But I don't think bringing this into a child's educational life I just think it's insane, to be quite honest. I think maybe when you're a teenager in school, after you have, you know, your parents have shaped you into the person you are, you should know what's right and wrong. Yes, they should teach you to be independent. They should teach you to be strong. And if something doesn't feel right, to speak about it. They should be taught that. But we all know, or if you've brought up in a normal home, what is right and what is acceptable and what is wrong. So teach them to be strong. And if something's not right, say it. But don't think we need to be. I think it's crazy, actually.
I've spoken to adults, and they've said, and they've been quite bothered by, you know, my mum and dad never showed me an affection. You know, my mum and dad never give me a hug. And now what we're saying is potentially, well, it's your fault. You know what I mean? You were 2.5 and you says no thanks. Do you know what I mean? This is the potential consequences of it. I don't even want to have this conversation, Pat. Next thing you know, Granny's thinking she needs to leave the door open if the kids are in the same room as her. You know, I mean, this is the slippery slope. People stop worrying about things like this, Pat.
Yes, absolutely. And the irony is that really girls, you know, in a way we're putting on toddlers what we subsequently kind of shut down for girls, you know, in their teens, in their 20s, whatever. We one way and another, we give the message to teens and subsequently girls that their views don't matter, that their whole point, their existence is to please men, that they should do anything that sexually they're asked. And, you know, we don't seem to have any societal problem with this attitude. Whereas on the other hand, we're putting these expectations on preschool children. Like, to me, I have a problem. And even like the point Emer made, that if children are not in a safe environment, that's up to society to do stuff. The attitude also really that, you know, we don't need to actually tackle boys' and men's attitude to inappropriate behaviour, I find bizarre.
Yes, but what we're effectively saying, though, is we can't control the manosphere. We can't control the internet. We can't control the TikTok influences through algorithms that's sexualizing girls at a very young age. So what we'll do is ignore that and seemingly do nothing about it, and then start having conversations with 3 or 4 year olds. Thankfully, the abuse of children is horrendous, and we see it too much. But in the whole scale of a population, like, we're having this conversation at the same time as 300,000 children are living in food poverty.
And so many children are being raised in direct provision and inappropriate conditions, and in a context where, like, the Epstein files is on the international horizon. I don't accept that we can't do anything. You know, I just don't accept it. I accept that we don't want to do anything. And that is another reason for, you know, really examining this. Why? Predominantly male basically parliaments, basically and predominantly male tech leaders don't want to do anything. Well, I'm sorry, it's not good enough, basically.
Yeah, but Michelle, I suppose, not to put words in your mouth, but to your point, we have this output of people though, and we're seeing the reality of it. Misogynism is not rare. Domestic violence is not rare. I talked of the abuse of children, and it is rare compared to the child population. But attitudes towards women, things that hold women back, domestic violence, these aren't rarities. So there is something that needs to be being done differently, clearly, because what's happening up until now is not working.
Yeah, and I. The conversation, I suppose, that we've had here, it's not as if we're saying that we can't have, as I say, spontaneous affection towards our children. It's probably when is the correct time to start to give them a language or show by example. I mean, kids at that age, we're telling them, teaching them how to share their toys and I kind of see it as part of that, if they grow up knowing that they have a language and knowing that they're able to remove themselves from something that they don't like, anything that would help them to be able to deal confidently with unwanted physical
I just see it
contact in later life.
I just see it as another tranche of children that will end up getting diagnosed with something. To be honest with you, at the moment there's a big, empathy seems to be a big part of a test of a child for autism, for an example. So there are ripple effects to all of this. Okay, you're hearing from Emer McGuinness, Dr. Michelle Maher and Professor Pat O'Connor. We'll have more from them after this break. Keep your texts coming in.
The Greg Hughes Show, sponsored by Ormacolla Jewelers, Main Street, Letterkenny. Discover your perfect engagement or wedding ring at their wedding and engagement weekend, 14th, 15th and 16th of August. Appointments recommended. Find out more at ormacolla.com.
Drought costing farmers millions. For more in your Irish Farmers Journal, here's our editor, Adam Woods.
We examine how much the drought is costing farmers in extra feed and fodder costs. Essential advice to manage feed supplies on your farm. Kenila suppliers in line for top-up payment. Full results, news and photos from the Tullamore Show. Plus, don't miss your chance to win an Opel Grandland SUV worth €44,000.
Get the Irish Farmers Journal today, in stores or subscribe online. You cannot afford to miss it.
The Easy Living Furniture mid-season sale is here. With absolutely everything reduced, now's the perfect time to transform your home. Save on luxurious sofas, beautiful dining furniture, stylish bedroom collections, home accessories and so much more. But don't wait, shop early for the best choice. The Easy Living Furniture mid-season sale is now on. Shop today at Easy Living Furniture, Crescent Link Retail Park, Derry, Londonderry.
From the first time they lose a
baby tooth, look, Dad,
to the countless times they forget to mention their
ingredients for home ec tomorrow.
Kids grow up fast. Luckily, at Tesco, we have back-to-school gear that grows with them, including trousers and skirts with adjustable hems and waists, so you can focus less on the cost and more on all this. Tesco. Every little helps. Available in the majority of larger stores.
Great news for furniture buyers. The Cooney's Home Interiors closing down sale has been continued. With so much stock still available, they've made further reductions on the remaining stock for immediate clearance. The closing down sale at Cooney's Letterkenny Retail Park. Don't miss out.
Highland Radio Time Checks brought to you by EirGrid, the operator and developer of Ireland's electricity grid. EirGrid, powering up communities, powering up Ireland. The time is...
The time now is 26 minutes past 9 and we are in the Friday panel, and whilst I was waiting for the outbreaks to end, I was flicking through Facebook and RTE News popped up, and there is a video of a beaming Rashida Adeleke who won silver in the 200 metres. She's a woman of colour, but she's pictured there with her Irish accent and draped in her tricolour. 759 comments, Michelle, and I have to say quite a large portion of them racist and sexist. So if anyone wants to know where we're at, You just look at a celebrationary post of someone, and you would hate to think if she were to go through the comments of the national broadcaster.
Yeah, I hope.
Go through the comments on the post of the national broadcaster. Beg your pardon.
Yeah, I hope she has somebody who is protecting her from that, so she doesn't have to see that. And I would like to see a way those comments being taken down. I think this is a remarkable achievement. She had a tough season, and I was watching her last night straight after Donegal's finest winning his gold medal, and to see her coming in, running a remarkable race. And I really don't know what to say about racism and everybody piling on, because I could see it as she was going over the line. I thought there'll be so many people excited about her, and there will be a number of people who are already with their phone in their hand going, not an Irish woman, what is she doing here?
I don't even want to give the comments I don't even want to give but I mean, like, this, like, RTE needs to look at this. There are comments with monkey emojis, it's horrendous, isn't it, Emer? Are these people racist, or are the incels and this is their little kick?
Look, there's all sorts of nutters. That's the way it doesn't matter if, under your program today, somebody could write some crazy comment about, that's what we're dealing with. That's the society we live in. It comes into our last conversation as well. We can't control that, but RTE can control that, and they shouldn't allow them or have them up. Great achievement on behalf. It doesn't matter what colour you are, who you are, where you're from. It's an amazing achievement, personal achievement for your country, for whatever else. What is wrong with people? There's so many other things in the world I don't get it. I never could. But RTE shouldn't have them there. You shouldn't be able to see that, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, Pat, it's really, I mean, it actually has to come down to skin colour, because if we've got people with Irish heritage that go out and do well in Australia, and I'm thinking of boxers or America or, in all different types of sports, we rush to claim them as Irish, even if they're succeeding under a different flag. So it has to come down to her skin colour.
Yes, but there is also, as the women politicians would know, a very worrying trend or theme of misogyny. Hatred of women, hatred of their achievements, belittling of women. Again, it comes down to no discussion of the construction of what it is to be a man in Ireland. Like, there was an attempt 30 years ago to introduce it as a topic in the schools, and it was closed down by the Catholic
I get where you're coming from, Pat. I am going to push back a little bit now, because most of us are all right, like, most of us are.
Absolutely. But I still hold my point that the idea of what it is does need to be discussed, because, I mean, when I was small, right, there were all sorts of men that weren't defined by their income. They were handymen, fellas who could do a job around the house. There were, without making a mess, there were all sorts of decent men, right? And unfortunately, the society we live in, the only thing that is is either your money or your ability to effectively and metaphorically spit on women, right? Now, I mean, all that in a way you can say. So I think it's not only racism, it's misogyny in the case of Adelaide. I keep not pronouncing your name correctly.
I understand. But Michelle or Emer, I mean, do you want to push back at all for us, man? I don't know.
No, don't polarize it. I have no problems with being positive about men.
I know that. I get where you're coming from. No,
one of the things that we're doing in See Her Elected actually is putting in place a male allyship programme, because what we want to see, of course, is more women in our county councils across rural Ireland.
We'll stay with that because the new the most recent local democracy task force report outlines dozens of reforms for councils, but groups like your own say it missed a major open goal by failing to recommend mandatory gender quotas. We know in Donegal it's 6, 7, 8%. Well, with Ireland ranking 22nd in Europe for women in local government, will voluntary promises ever change the face of our local chambers, or do we need those mandatory quotas so we catch up, Michelle?
Yeah, I'm a fan of quotas. That's probably not a surprise to you, Greg. We have them for general elections for people being elected to the Dáil. And what we saw in Dáil Éireann was a 76% increase in the number of women elected. The last general election we had without a quota, there were 25 women in Dáil Éireann. That was in 2011. And in the last election that we had in 2024, that went up to 44 women. So what gender quotas were able to achieve in national politics in 14 years and 3 electoral cycles previously took 37 years and 10 electoral cycles. So quotas work in getting more women into where we want them to be. But I have a pain in my face to defending quotas, because all a quota does is it gets a woman on the ballot paper. It doesn't get them elected into Donegal County Council. It gets them it helps get them onto a ballot paper. And after that, it's up to the voters. And it's like we're handing some massive big advantage to women, and we're not. And I would go as far as to say that if you are in Donegal, women, listen to this in Donegal, the biggest advantage you can have is a political surname. Yet we never talk about that as an advantage. We always kind of hone in on quotas and question whether a woman getting on a ballot paper because of a quota is qualified for the job she's
Michelle,
going for.
Do quotas, generally speaking, and pardon my ignorance, do they be maintained forever, or are quotas something that are introduced until such time as there's in other words, if it's effective in getting a broader representation in a local council or a Dáil, do we have evidence whether you retain that because that's the healthy thing to do, or that you're sort of it's a short-term measure to address a historical imbalance?
They're always meant to be a short-term to get up to about 40%. And there's a term from physics which escapes me at the moment, whereas if you can get up to 35, 40%, the momentum then it becomes normal. There's an electoral pattern, and we get used to and understand that politics is a place for men and women equally. And what tends to happen when you reach some level of equality between men and women in electoral quotas then tend to be used for perhaps Indigenous women or people from different ethnicities and people from different religions. So they then become more targeted. But the idea with a quota is once you get to once it becomes the norm that a political chamber is roughly 50-50 men and women, that the quota is no longer needed.
Emer, what's your view on quotas as someone obviously with an interest in elected politics?
Look, I have thought long and hard about this, and then I was thinking of myself, as you say, and do I think it would have helped me the time that I ran? No, I was running, and I was asked to run on my ability and I suppose my background and my record of different things I had done. So, but I do think if they had to do it and there was a gender quota, you would see more women. And I really do believe that more women in the Dáil, at the council, you'd see things done an awful lot differently. There'll probably be loads of comments after this.
No, but it would be really interesting to see how Donegal County Council would operate with 50% women. Like, I think, I'm not saying that to be all woke and righteous, but I would genuinely be very interested
I think we're lots of different ways. I'll be shot for that. But I do think women bring something totally different to the table than men. And I do watch a lot of characteristics that men have, women have. Women don't mind accepting sometimes that they're wrong, or maybe we made the wrong decision there. Men find it very difficult.
Not all women.
Yeah, well, I'm okay, maybe not all, but they're more, I do believe, on a whole, they're more open-minded to different, they'll listen to different things that come. Men have a habit, I believe, of, and this is only my beliefs, of just going with the general flow of the way things always were done. And I just think that balance would be very good.
Yeah. I think any council that reflects as accurately as possible the population is always going to be better.
Right, yeah. Maybe that's what I was trying to say, Greg.
No, it's nothing personal. I think we can take it. Pat, what do you think? And I mean, obviously, it makes sense. 50% of the population, stronger representation at all levels, in business, in the council. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. But should it be mandated? Should there be quotas? Sorry, Pat, that's the real question.
Yes. Here. Well, on the one hand, I'm very clear. I'm in favour of quotas. I do think that it's the structural stuff, it's been described, that gives women confidence. So I completely agree with Emer's point that if they're mandated, it actually helps continuing the first conversation. It gives women confidence that they matter, but it's not enough. You can put women in unwinnable seats, and that has been done by some political parties. And you're going through the motions.
That's a really good. That's a
good.
very good point you've made, and there are examples of that, recent examples as well. It can't be tokenism, can it? You can't just you can't have a sweeper or a.
Yeah. I mean, we're well familiar with that. But there are all, like, we also need the political parties need to also tackle, when I say it's not enough, they need to tackle the underlying misogyny in their members, right? And in the wider public. And the third point I'd make, and this in a way doesn't contradict the first two, but I disagree with Emer that women are paragons of virtue. I'm not. Maybe Emer is, but so in a way, I think that, and not all women are feminists, and I'm afraid I have no problem. I think women, it's really important that women are not doormats, right? Which is my definition of feminism. So, unfortunately, women can be co-opted because we are not saints. We have the same concerns about our interests and our future, and as many men
I think really it's about broadly how we go about business, broadly speaking.
Yes. But even that is kind of accepting a biological essentialism that I don't subscribe to. So, for example, I'm really disappointed with some of the British politicians, Yvette Cooper, etc. I'm really disappointed with Ursula von der Leyen. And even though I believe in quotas, I think it's really important to have perspectives from all different areas.
I wonder if you have more women in these positions, do women that get to those positions feel that they can be more in line with themselves rather than with the manosphere that they might be in? Michelle, just briefly on this before the break, where is the pushback on this? Is it the dynasties? Is it the is it the career politicians that perhaps this would be a threat to their seat going forward? Like,
the pushback to this, I think, if we look at which political parties have voluntary quotas for local elections, so there's no mandate, they don't have to have 40% men or 40% women. The political parties who don't have voluntary in place are Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael into an independent Ireland. All the other parties, Sinn Féin, Labour, Social Democrats, Greens, and so on, they all will ensure that without it being mandated by law. So if you're asking me where the problem is, I'm looking especially at the two big parties of Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, because they have the most councillors in the country. So what they do and do not do matters.
Okay. And also,
this is not a coincidence. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sorry, Greg. This is not a coincidence, because these are the parties that are really most likely to be running the gravy train. So the fact that they are the ones who are opposed is significant and interesting.
And I think it's also important too, because sometimes men listening to conversations like this think the conversation is about them, when it's not. It's not about them. And if we talk about domestic violence, it's not saying that all men are involved in domestic violence, and people need to sort of say, right, they're not talking about me. This is a valid conversation. My wife, my sister, my partner, my auntie, these are all strong, powerful women. So
I think
don't be defensive.
Yeah, sorry. You said the task force missed an open goal, I think, with quotas. But actually, this task force, what it is doing is trying to reorganise local government and bring more power back to our county councils instead of it being retained in government parties. Yeah. We're talking here about recruitment of new county councillors. I actually think it missed a massive open goal on renewal of who's there, because quotas address only one obstacle, which is getting on the ballot paper. They do nothing about the fact that that same woman who might get on the ballot paper then finds herself trying to take a seat from someone with 50, 20, 25 or 30 years constituency work and name recognition. So I actually think I think that's the bigger omission really in this task force.
Okay, we'll be back with more from Emer, Michelle and Pat after these.
The Greg Hughes Show with McCullough Jewelers, Main Street, Letterkenny. Don't miss their wedding and engagement weekend on the 14th, 15th and 16th of August with free bespoke ring consultations, jewellery health checks and complimentary ring cleaning. Visit ormccullough.com.
Oakfest is back and bigger than ever at Oakfield Park with two very different lineups over 2 days on 2 stages. Saturday includes the Boomtown Rats, the Stunning and Super Kaylee. Then on Sunday, it's Legends Reimagined with tribute acts to Bon Jovi, Daft Punk, Elvis and others. With more food, more bars and more family entertainment, get the best value tickets early for Oakfest on Saturday the 5th and Sunday the 6th of September. Shuttle buses from Letterkenny with a pickup in Rafo. See oakfieldpark.com.
It's the massive 70% off sale at Right Price Tiles, Wood Flooring and Bathware. Get up to 70% off our huge selection of tiles, wood flooring and bathware with prices that are hotter than your bedroom in a heat wave. Everything's in stock with no delays and no price hikes. Just the right tiles at the right price. Right Price Tiles, Wood Flooring and Bathware. 70% off sale is now on.
When it's gone, it's gone. This week's new Wigig at Home Store and More. All pet beds, toys and accessories are all half price. But better hurry, because when all our half price pet beds, toys and accessories are gone, they're gone. Also, all home office desks and chairs and all metal kitchen bins are still half price. But when our home office desks and chairs and metal kitchen bins Wigigs are gone, they're definitely gone. Drop by your local Home Store and More. Visit us online at homestoreandmore.ie. Home Store and More. A happy home.
Stand up for lazy? No, stand up for hard workers. The early starts, the long days, the school runs, the overtime, the DIY jobs. Because, after all that, you've earned your Lazy Boy.
Reward yourself with the world-famous Lazy Boy collection at Glenkeen Furnishings. Choose from leather or fabric, manual or power recliners. Shop online at glenkeen.co.uk or visit our stores in Omagh, Derry, Londonderry and Irvinstown with free delivery and assembly throughout Northern and Southern Ireland.
You offered them a cuppa when they saw yours. That's definitely enough for a little treat. Cadbury Delights, with 91 calories of milk chocolate, nougat and caramel in every bar.
The Highland Radio Customer Service Awards in association with AirGrid are back. We're honouring the businesses that put customers first, and we want to hear from you. Whether it's your favourite shop, restaurant or service provider, now's the time to give them the recognition they deserve. Nominate your favourite business now at highlandradio.com. Nominations close Friday the 20th of August. The awards night takes place on Sunday the 27th of September.
Now, just to let you know, you've got 14 minutes if you want to be in all 6 draws in our Highland Radio Summer Cash Draw. The lines are very busy at the moment and they will be closing at 10, so you have a very short window. The first draw takes place in the next hour. In this programme, John Breslin has $2,000 to give away as well. So a critical window here, a small window it has to be said, barely you could get your head out of it. If you want to get in on that draw and be in all 6 draws, go onto the website right now, highlandradio.com, or give us a call here on 074 91 25,000. A caller says, genuine question. What is stopping women going into politics at the minute? I'll put that to you if that's all right, Michelle Maher, because it's actually probably a decent question, right? So what is stopping women going into politics at the minute?
What is stopping women going into politics is If they're running as an independent, nothing at all. They can head out canvassing tomorrow. But 75% of our county councillors are members of parties. So I see in rural Ireland, the blockage is actually within the political parties themselves. Women tend to wait to be asked to run for election, and when they are asked, that ask comes too late in the day. It's months out from a local election, and they don't have time to build a profile and get known and be electable. They're just added to a ticket to sweep up a few extra votes. So what is stopping, because we know that women wait to be asked, then I think there's an onus on all of us, and this is men and women in Donegal. Donegal is rock bottom in the league table of women in their county councils. So why don't we all look around us? We all know that woman, and I'm probably sitting with some of them here today on this show with you, Greg. You know, we know that woman. She's stuck in everything. She gets, you know, if she put down her tools, the whole place would fall apart. You know, she's at the backbone of every community and voluntary thing that's happening. I wonder, has anyone ever asked her about running for election? And with less than 3 years to go to we're all going to be voting people again into Donegal County Council, and we need to get off the bottom of that table. So what is stopping? Let's, instead of putting the blame on the women because they're not putting themselves forward, let's all be proactive in getting behind a woman and helping her see the valuable work she does and getting behind, being part of her team. Come along and learn how you run for elections with ourselves and others, and let's stop putting the blame on the woman for not running. Let's all get behind her and help her get there.
And now is the time you need to be building profiles as well too, if you were actually going to be really serious about it. Emer, you've got the inside track.
Yeah, it's no easy feat, and a lot of people probably just don't actually understand the whole. There's a lot of trauma involved with it. I wasn't the better of it for a long, long time. The abuse you get, you know, and then the whole work, like the lead up to it, canvassing. Canvassing is a whole other, and you're doing that on top of your day job, by the way, and you're going around to all these houses. Some of the houses might run you from the door, depending on what party you're from. They mightn't even, and that in itself is very hard on a person. Michelle did hit the nail on the head there, the parties as well. You know, are they putting you forward to get a seat that you're possibly not going to get? If you're also a new candidate running, another thing I found was very hard. I was up against politicians or elected representatives that had all the money would seem to be handed out before the elections for all these different groups and roads and whatnot. It all seemed to be held to be just before the election. So I'm competing with somebody else running for election who is able to walk in or do this announcement in the newspaper that they've done this and they've done that. And I suppose people looking at it, if you're looking to elect somebody, and I've seen that from people that were very honest. You know, you're going in there, what will you be able to do? Whereas this one has all this and is able to do X, Y, and Z, or, you know, and plus, I don't think it was happening to me being a woman, though. I think it was just, I didn't have the leverage. And plus the fact it was complicated there was 2 or 3 Fianna Fáil candidates running at the same time.
In the close area. Pat, have I missed it? Or do we hear enough from Mary Coughlin in her own county, you know, held the second highest position in the country, Jennifer Carroll McNeil, all the other, you know, women that have made it do we hear enough from them about this conversation? Maybe they are constantly talking about it. I'm not saying they're gatekeepers, don't get me wrong, but I mean, we're hearing people like Michelle on the ground, you know, Emer who's been there, but do we hear enough from the actual women that have made it calling this out on a regular enough basis, either in the media or in the Dáil, or are maybe they themselves now at this point are afraid to put their head above the parapet? I don't want to do anyone a disservice, Pat, but I haven't heard really any recent organised, you know, vocal support for more women in politics from the women that have made it.
But I mean, they're a minority. Like, again, we're blame the women. Whatever,
No, that's not true. They are. The women are in a. What I'm saying is, of course, I'm not blaming them.
They are a minority, Greg, and in a way, unfortunately, biting the hand that feeds you is an unpopular pastime. I'm not saying it shouldn't be done, but it is an unpopular pastime, and it does threaten their own position. Because one of the weird things about Irish society, and I mean, it's even been evident in this programme, that as soon as you begin to talk about the woman question, the men get nervous, is it me? Amn't I a nice guy? And
yes, but I'm trying to do my bit. I'm trying to do, but I'm trying to do my bit as part of the wider conversation for men not to think that they're talking about them. So it gives the space for a conversation without everyone getting defensive.
Absolutely, and I appreciate that, and it reflects very well on you and on many other men. But I'm saying, calling on women to call out the system, tricky, very tricky. And one of the things, one of the things that there are other problems in terms of women running for election and women being successful, and they are minor details called women still do most of the work in the home, and obviously they're in paid work, they're in unpaid work, and now they're trying to really, and I think it is important to be in the public arena. There's also the minor detail that local government is, well, to put it bluntly, it's a bit of a mess. It's ineffective. It needs more power. And the question as to whether women, a rational woman sitting down thinking, well, where are my efforts best spent on the assumption that I can be effective in a whole load of areas.
Pat.
So there is also culture and the violence, which is, we've talked about, the internet hostility, not only Rashika Adelaide, but other women. It's documented in the case of female politicians. Sorry, Greg.
No,
very strongly.
No, and you make your point. I just wanted, from Michelle's perspective, from She Her Elected, the programme manager, in 20 seconds, if you don't mind, Michelle, is there anything to my question at all, or am I woman blaming again, or what?
There is, but it's the. I actually want to pick up really on a point Emer made, because I think it's critical.
Okay, do that. But if you could do it briefly,
was the hardest thing. I talked about the advantage of having a political surname, but actually a massive advantage is to already be a councillor, because you have all the positive association with that, and because there are so many men in the system in Donegal already, and they all run again. That's where I think the task force, and when we're talking about this, we need to talk about the amount of people. It's great having a pipeline of, like ourselves, preparing women to run for election, but what's at the other end of the pipeline? Is it stuck?
All right, Dr. Michelle Maher, always a pleasure. See Her Elected. And if you are interested in running for politics, there is support out there. Check out See Her Elected. Thank you very much indeed. Pat O'Connor, it's always a pleasure. I do enjoy my beating every Friday morning now and again. Look after yourself.
Greg, I'm in your fan club.
I know, Pat, I am joking. That's why we invite you on so much, because we love having you on and your views. And Emer McGuinness, as always, thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend.
You too, Greg.
Bye-bye. Look after yourself.
The Greg Hughes Show is proudly sponsored by McCullough Jewelers, Letterkenny. Planning to pop the question? Visit their wedding and engagement weekend, 14th to the 16th of August, for bespoke ring design consultations, free jewellery health checks and complimentary ring cleaning. McCullough.com.
In Donegal, community means looking out for one another. When life brings important decisions or unexpected challenges, it's reassuring to have a local legal team by your side. At Gibson and Associates, we're proud to support people across Donegal with expert advice in medical negligence, personal injury, conveyancing and probate, working to achieve the best possible outcome for every client. Visit gibsonandassociates.ie or call our Letterkenny office today. Gibson and Associates, trusted legal advice, proudly serving Donegal.
See our new range of comfortable storage beds now on display at Restex Beds Mountaintop, Letterkenny. Combine luxury and comfort with clever hidden storage and free delivery and assembly on all our products. Restex Beds. Leave the rest to us.
Summer might be ending, but the savings are only getting started at iMotors. Join us for our big end of summer used car sale from August 24th to 29th and discover our fantastic range of quality used cars at unbeatable prices. Buy any used car during the event and you'll get the chance to spin the wheel and win up to €1,500 off your purchase. Whether you're upgrading, downsizing or buying your first car, there's never been a better time to visit iMotors. Visit our Drumkeen showroom to find your perfect used car and take your chance at the wheel.
iMotors, fearless generation.
At Charlie's in Letterkenny, they've been serving great food since 1984 to sit in and take away. Everything at Charlie's is cooked to order, so if you're having an all-day breakfast, a burger, or their renowned fish and chips, you'll know they've been freshly prepared. And there's a great selection of gluten-free options. Charlie's, in the heart of Letterkenny, open Tuesday to Saturday from 12 to 8 and for breakfast on Fridays from 9 on the Pierce Road. When the hunger hits, pull into Charlie's.
Highland Radio weather updates with McElhinney's. Get back to school sorted with our collection of school uniforms, shoes and accessories. Visit our kids department in-store or discover our back to school shop online at mcelhinney's.com.
Quite cloudy today with just limited sunny spells and a few showers feeding in from the Atlantic. Highest temperatures of 17 to 21 degrees. In the next hour we've got live music, 2 grand and so much more besides. That's after the news at 10.
The Greg Hughes Show, sponsored by McCullough Jewelers, Main Street, Letterkenny. Discover your perfect engagement or wedding ring at their wedding and engagement weekend, 14th, 15th and 16th of August. Appointments recommended. Find out more at ormccullough.com.
Great news for furniture buyers. The Cooney's Home Interiors closing down sale has been continued. With so much stock still available, they've made further reductions on the remaining stock for immediate clearance. The closing down sale at Cooney's Letterkenny Retail Park. Don't miss out.
Outsurance could help you save in your car insurance, like Toulouse from Kildare.
It's true. I saved €276 on my Renault Captur when I made the switch.
That's great.
So great that I now insure my lovely home with Outsurance too.
Home insurance too. Happy days. For a competitive car insurance quote, call 1-800-600-400 or visit outsurance.ie. Real people, unreal savings. Outsurance. You always get something out. Based on a like-for-like policy comparison in November 2025 for a 32-year-old who received a gratuity for their participation. Acceptance criteria, terms and conditions apply. Outsurance Stack trading as Outsurance is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
At McDade's Bathroom Plumbing Tiles, Cockhill, Buncrana, it's about more than products, it's about how you're looked after. We're a family-run Donegal business, known for honest advice, quality work and service that's always just a phone call away. From bathrooms and tiling with over 40 fabulous displays to plumbing and renewable solutions, we help you see it, feel it and make it yours with confidence. Done right, done once. Call McDade's on 07493 63050 or visit our website at pjmcdade.com.
Drought costing farmers millions. For more in your Irish Farmers Journal, here's our editor, Adam Woods.
We examine how much the drought is costing farmers in extra feed and fodder costs, essential advice to manage feed supplies on your farm, Kenila suppliers in line for top-up payment, full results, news and photos from the Tullamore Show, plus don't miss your chance to win an Opel Grandland SUV worth €44,000.
Get the Irish Farmers Journal today, in stores or subscribe online. You cannot afford to miss it.
This summer, get everything you need at Tesco with our amazing club card prices. Mix and match with a great pizza and ice cream offer, 2 for €10. Included are delicious frozen Crosta Malika Margarita or Stromboli Pizzetta 2-pack, Häagen-Dazs Salted Caramel Ice Cream 3-pack, and Ben & Jerry's Cookie Dough or Caramel Sandwich 4-pack. Enjoy pizza and ice cream or double up on your favourite. The choice is all yours. Shop in-store or online. Tesco. Every little helps. Available in most stores. Prices vary in Express.
Live, on air, online and on the Highland Radio app. This is Highland Radio News.
Good morning, it's 10:10. Donald Kavanagh at the news desk.
Uisce Éireann says water supplies are beginning to recover in Donegal and the northwest, but no decision has been made on whether to extend the hosepipe ban. The current ban was initially put in place across the south and east, but extended nationwide 3 weeks ago due to exceptionally warm and dry weather, along with high water demand. Mairead Conlon, Asset Strategy Manager at Uisce Éireann, says a decision will be made closer to the time.
We have had recovery in the northwest area, but if we look at the southeast, we have had very little rain. When we're looking at water conservation orders, we don't want to put them in place, say, if we don't have to. We do understand it is a significant impact to customers, and we really appreciate when customers work with us on them. So we don't want to put it in place if we don't have to. So we won't be making the decision until near the time when we can look at the long-term weather forecast, and the weather forecasts change all the time.
There's internal disagreement within Fianna Fáil over the HSE's decision to not fund a drug to treat Friedreich's ataxia. It follows outcry from those suffering with the neurological disorder. They've been calling for the Skyclarys drug to be approved. More than 40 members of the Fianna Fáil Parliamentary Party have written to the Taoiseach, and others raising serious concerns about the issue. Donegal Deputy Pat Gallagher and Senator Niall Blaney have both confirmed to Highland Radio News that they signed the letter. We understand Midlands North West MEP Barry Cowan is also among the signatories. There's been progress in waiting times for spinal patients at Children's Health Ireland. Outpatient departments have also seen a drop in wait times for appointments. With more, here's Cliona O'Dwyer.
104 patients are currently on the active spinal surgery waiting list. Since January this year, 229 procedures have been added to the surgical waiting list, while 279 spinal surgeries have been carried out in the same time frame. These people are completing their pre-operative assessments to ensure they're ready for surgery and will be due for an admission date in the future. Meanwhile, Children's Health Ireland says OPD waiting times have almost halved over the past year. The average wait time for an outpatient department appointment is now 3.9 months, down significantly from 7.4 months at the same time in 2025.
A temporary road closure that was due to come into effect on Monday in Ballybofey has been deferred for a week. It will now be implemented from Monday, August 24th to facilitate road reconstruction works. Donegal Street will be closed from the Glenfin Street junction at Bonner's Bar to the Steeple junction at Liddle. The council says the deferral is due to unforeseen circumstances. More details about the diversions available on our website, highlandradio.com. More than 12,000 people have applied to the Defence Forces so far this year. Figures released in a parliamentary response show there were 16,000 applications last year, with nearly 800 people, 70 of them women, joining the force. However, the Department of Defence data also shows 583 members chose to leave or retire over the same time period. Defence Minister Helen McEntee says she's set a target of 850 inductions for this year, with around 300 having already joined. And Nigel Farage is returning to the UK Parliament as an MP after winning the Clacton by-election. The Reform UK leader got more than 22,000 votes but wasn't running against any of the major parties. His nearest rival, Count Binface, secured almost 9,500 votes. Farage wasn't at the official result declaration after his party claimed there was a credible threat made against him. Weather forecast for this Friday morning. Quite cloudy today with just some limited sunny spells and a few showers feeding in from the Atlantic. Highest temperatures 17 to 21 degrees Celsius. Coolest the further west you go, with a light to moderate northwesterly breeze. Staying mostly cloudy and dry tonight with just the odd light shower in lowest temperatures of 10 to 13. Tomorrow staying mostly dry once again with limited sunny spells developing during the day. Cloud thickening from the west in the evening, some patches of rain and drizzle following toward nightfall. Top temperatures on Saturday 15 to 20, again coolest in the northwest with a light northwesterly breeze. That's Highland Radio News. We're back with news headlines at 11 o'clock. Until then, from the news team, good morning. The obituary notices for this Friday morning, the 14th of August. The death has occurred of John J. Doherty, Dunmore, Carrigart, formerly of Ennistimon, County Clare. John's remains are reposing at his late residence. Funeral Mass at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning in the Church of St John the Baptist, Carrigart, followed by burial in the adjoining cemetery. Family flowers only, please. Donations in lieu if desired to the Donegal Hospice. The death has taken place of Margaret O'Kane, née Barron, 19 Alexander Road, Limavady. Margaret will be reposing at her home today from 12 noon until 10 p.m. Funeral from there tomorrow morning at 9:30 for 10 o'clock Requiem Mass in St Mary's Church, Limavady, followed by interment in the adjoining cemetery. Family flowers only, please. Donations in lieu if desired to Thackeray Daycare Centre. The death has taken place of Margaret Boyle, née Breslin, Drumnacart, Annagry, formerly of Leitrimecca Ward. Wake at her home today from 11 a.m. with rosary at 8 o'clock this evening. The funeral mass will take place tomorrow at 12 noon in St Bridget's Church, Leitrimecca Ward, followed by interment in the new graveyard. Family time, please, before the funeral tomorrow. The death has taken place of Stephen Brogan, Clane, County Kildare, and Dromahal, County Donegal. A private cremation will take place later. Donations, if desired, to the Donegal Hospice, care of any family member, or Kelly's funeral directors, Rafo. And the death has occurred of Sean Burns, Ballylast, Castle Finn. Sean's remains are reposing at his late residence. Funeral from there this morning at 11:30, going to St Columba's Church, Dunnyloop, for Requiem Mass at 12 noon. Burial afterwards in the adjoining cemetery. Family time, please, before the funeral this morning. The Requiem Mass can be viewed on the parish YouTube channel. For family information and more details regarding wakes and funerals, please go to highlandradio.com.
With Super Value's Real Rewards prices, you can now get weekly savings on thousands of products when you scan at the till, like fresh Irish round steak mince, €3. Selected Yoplait Petit Falou 6-pack, €1 each. Plus Weetabix 48-pack, better than half price, now €3.50. New Real Rewards prices from Super Value. Yes, you scan.
Okay, you're very welcome back to the programme, and I am delighted to say, congratulations, Mr. Mark English. How are you keeping?
Yeah, I keep really well, Greg. It's brilliant to wake up as European champion. Still struggling to put it into words, but it's a good feeling.
When you manifest it, when you imagine it happening, when you think of how it might feel, how different is the experience when it actually happens?
Yeah, it's very different. Like, I'm still almost in the mindset of just trying to focus on what it takes to get here, as opposed to thinking about the aftermath and the emotions that come with it. So it'll take me a while to process it all, but it's brilliant to do it in front of such a great Irish crowd and so many people who just personally supported me over the years were there last night. And yeah, as I say, it's just an amazing feeling.
I mean, even in terms of your career development, that in of itself would be a huge achievement. But to be able to increase from already high level to win a medal at this stage is almost remarkable. How have you eked out? And I wonder, is it like the top 10% or top 0.5%, of what you have? How did you manage to get more out of yourself to succeed at this level?
Well, I changed coach to Justin Rinaldi at the end of 2024. And he made a big difference in my training. At that point, I was already full-time devoted to athletics, but it just meant that I suppose the training volume would have increased, and I went on altitude camps, and I just took advice from people that knew more about areas like nutrition and physiology and strength and conditioning, and just, I guess, sat down at a table and tried to make it work. And thankfully, it just came together at the right time yesterday. And yeah, as I said, like, it's been 16 years waiting to get back on top of a podium, and to finally get back on top of it again was just an amazing feeling.
Your career would have been astonishing without that, but how much of a cherry on the top of the cake is this, that you can say whenever you decide to hang up the running shoes that you have that gold medal around your neck?
Yeah, it just gives me peace of mind, I think, personally, more than anything, because I knew what I was capable of doing and I hadn't done it. So that's just why I really wanted to get the gold medal yesterday, just to make me personally satisfied with my career to this point. So yeah, it's amazing. And yeah, I'm still struggling to put it into words. I got 3 hours sleep last night, so it's difficult, but I am struggling to put it into words at the minute.
Right, couple potentially silly questions. When you walk out onto the track, what's your heart rate at that point? Or how are you controlling your adrenaline, or maybe you're not?
I actually have an answer for this because I wore my watch last night and timed the race, so I have that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that high before the race started. I will have to check it properly, but I think it was about 100 or 120.
Wow.
I think before the race started.
That's astonishing. So you've done all of the work, and I imagine when you're working with the nutritionists and all the experts in different areas, there's a bit of a weight on your shoulder at the starting line too, as well, because they've put the time and the effort into you. But you have to strategize, right? So how much of your race plan is before you take off, and how much of it is on the fly?
Yeah, no, I would have strategized a lot with my coach Justin Ronaldo before the race, just about different scenarios and like what to do in each of them. And I guess like we had all of the athletes in that race probably prepared a race plan with Max Bergen, the British athlete, in the race. And then when we found out that he had pulled out just before it, I think that probably unsettled a few people. And Justin just told me, just stay calm, just stick to the race plan of being in contention for the race, for most of the race, and then when it comes to the last 100 meters, just use the energy you have left to execute the kill move. And thankfully, it worked out brilliantly.
It really did. And so, say for instance, you run wide. You say, right, I want to stay out of the potential, and we've seen it in other races of legs getting tied up or what have you. Like, is there a consequence to stepping out a foot or two in terms of the overall race performance and time?
Yeah, I knew it wouldn't be a fast race, so I think we went through in 53 through 400 meters, and then it didn't really pick up from 400 meters to 600, so it was just like a waiting game, and until that last kind of 120 meters left. So I think the last 100 meters was 12.3 seconds, which is very quick.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah. So it was pretty much a sprint finish, and like the times don't really. It didn't concern me. Like I ran a championship record in the semi-final, so I knew that capability was there. But yeah, it's just all about getting that gold medal.
It was clear that you really, really wanted this, and in fact, you said it in your interview with RTE. But you've been incredibly competitive throughout your career. I'm just wondering, from the psychology perspective, did something change in this? Like, in other words, was this extra important, and would that allow you to get a little bit of extra out of yourself?
Yeah, no, it was important because I knew that the win was realistic. And like before the race, I went down to the shop and I bought an A4 refill pad and a pen, and I just wrote down I'm European champion 15 times before the race, just to reinforce the idea that I'd already won it, just to calm me down. So I don't know. I guess it worked, but it was amazing.
That really is remarkable. And I suppose you can lean on your expertise in the medical field as well. Much has been made of the age gap between you and the others. Is that a factor? How big of a deal was it that you were able to bridge that gap? Commentators are focusing on it. I'm just curious from the competitor's perspective.
Yeah, well, like I don't really feel like I'm much older than these guys. Yeah. And like I know I'm putting in the right training, so that's something I would have learned that maybe they don't have just due to their age at the minute. It's just that experience of knowing what works and what doesn't at a championship. So there's a lot of things too with age that you do have an advantage with. So I don't think it's a distinct disadvantage, but I like that to be 33 and 6 years older.
Finally, we were listening last night to Patsy McGonigal, who was either in tears or on the brink. Hard to describe. So many people and your own family, your dad, etc., have invest so much in you emotionally, but also too in terms of taking you to training here and there in the dock winter nights and what have you. How much of this success is about that infrastructure and those that have helped you along the way, Mark? Ultimately, it's an individual sport, and you did it. But it takes a community, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does take a community. I was just saying, there's a lot of unspoken effort that goes in behind the scenes, and to get back to the likes of Dad, there came over to Sierra Nevada in November, December time. My coach Justin, who's travelled over from he's a young family back in Australia, and he's over here at the Europeans. And like the rest of the support staff, I mean, it's not a sport where you earn massive amounts of money, so you do it for the love of it. And like to get back to them guys last night was brilliant. And like how close Birmingham is to Ireland, it was brilliant Irish supporters. So many of my cousins from Donegal came over, and it was brilliant.
Fantastic stuff. And of course then followed up by a silver after you. Fantastic really for us. So what a night.
Yeah, it was class. I got to see Rashida's race just the last 50 metres. So yeah, it was brilliant. And I knew whenever she crossed the line, it was a great night for Irish athletics. And so I just tried to absorb it as much as I could at that point.
And finally, how do you top this? What's next?
So I've got the Loxan Diamond League next week. So it'll be getting back to training fairly swiftly, and I'll get ready for that. And then hopefully, if that goes well, the Diamond League final in Brussels, and then we'll finish out the season with the World Ultimate Athletics Championships in Budapest in September.
Well, of course, you're not far removed from Ireland, so you'll know the impact this has had on people in your own county as well, too, your own people. The level of pride, the viewership, I would say, was through the roof up here. We couldn't be any more proud of you, Mark, and we're so delighted, and it's just astonishing what you've achieved, and thanks for bringing a bit of joy into our lives.
Thanks a million, Greg. Thanks for having me on this morning.
Look after yourself, Mark. Okay, that is Mark English there, and he's back to training again soon. It's not very exciting, is it? Not very. I mean, it's not like there's a victory tour for months on end and all that. He's getting ready for the Diamond League, where there is a little bit of moolah in the Diamond League, so that is important as well. Some of your, we've loads of messages coming in. Congratulations to Mark English on getting his gold medal. What a race. Shows what you can achieve with hard work and commitment. Great result for Adeleke after all the injuries she had to deal with last year. That comes in from Celine Carn Donna. Indeed, in her story, her arc, if you were to look at her arc for the season, it's astonishing. And Mark's arc, I suppose, is it's career-wise, isn't it? And isn't it fascinating that he's writing down your European champion, and he wrote it 15 times, and he went out to actually get a A4 book to do that in. You know, I mean, there's lessons for us all to learn in different elements of life. We're not going to run a race like he did, but we can learn stuff, can't we? Right, we are going to take a break because very shortly, one of you, and you may be listening, maybe you're not, one of you is going to win €2,000. The lines are frozen at the moment for our big €20,000 cash draw. After today, there'll still be 18 grand up for grabs, and after John's show, there'll still be 16 because we're heading towards the big one, the 10K. But someone is going to be €2,000 better off in the next 40 minutes. Don't go anywhere. And if you want to watch the draw, by the way, hop onto YouTube, Highland Radio Ireland. It's going to be there for you live.
It's time for Vision Ireland Bingo on Highland Radio.
It's Friday the 14th of August. You're playing on the yellow sheet for the daily prize of €400. The reference number is S5. It's game number 33. The numbers are 21, 61, 27, 48, 41, 10, 46, 66, 23, and finally 86. Phone your claim to 9104833 before midnight, leaving your name, contact number and the name of the shop where you purchased your book, and we'll call you back the next working day. Get all your Vision Ireland bingo information at highlandradio.com. Shop Homeland's mega deals. Dulux Weather Shield exterior colours. Buy 2 10 litre for €140. Save 20% of all Regatta outdoor clothing, 15% of all leads and collars, 20% of Royal Canin puppy and kitten ranges. All this and more in store and online at homeland.ie until August 21st.
Haven't finished your garden yet? Get it ready before summer's gone. McMonagall Stone, premium natural stone for driveways, patios and more. Visit us at Mount Charles or shop online at mcmonagallstone.com.
McMonagall Stone, created by nature, built for life. Heading from Milford to Manchester or Buncrana to Boston? Pick up your dollars, sterling or zloty with 0% commission at your local post office. Open 6 days a week. You can even sell back your leftover travel money for euros after your holiday. Visit your local post office today. An Post Money. Making better happen. Terms and conditions apply. An Post is authorised by the Minister for Finance to provide foreign currency cash. FX cash buyback available in selected post offices. For purchase of selected notes only.
Drought costing farmers millions. For more in your Irish Farmers Journal, here's our editor, Adam Woods.
We examine how much the drought is costing farmers in extra feed and fodder costs, essential advice to manage feed supplies on your farm, Kenila suppliers in line for top-up payment, full results, news and photos from the Tullamore Show, plus don't miss your chance to win an Opel Grandland SUV worth €44,000.
Get the Irish Farmers Journal today, in stores or subscribe online. You cannot afford to miss it.
The Greg Hughes Show with McCullough Jewelers, Main Street, Letterkenny. Don't miss their wedding and engagement weekend on the 14th, 15th and 16th of August with free bespoke ring consultations, jewellery health checks and complimentary ring cleaning. Visit ormccullough.com.
Right, it is that time. We have in studio with us Sean Quinn, the CEO of Highland Radio, and it's not that long ago since we actually began this process, and we're already about to make someone €2,000 richer. The draw is about to happen. How exciting, Sean?
So excited, Greg. Friday giving away money. Where else? As to say, where else would you get it?
Yes, and it's not just this show. John Breslin is in Rafo, isn't he?
He is. He's out. He's out and about today. So I think about 11:45, roughly, we'll be giving away another 2,000.
So that means the draw drum, the trombola is going to Rafo, and all of your tickets, every one of you that purchased a ticket since we launched this, your ticket is in the trombola, and that ticket is associated with your name. So we'll talk a little bit. Shall we pull a ticket out? Now, it's been rotated extensively, but I'm sure Sean's going to give it another couple of goes. Yeah. And just be conscious that the camera is over your left shoulder. It's this one we're using today, if you don't mind, Sean. So, I don't know, do you dig deep? Do you take one off the top? Do you take one off the bottom? I don't know. All you do is you make sure you don't toss it. And in it goes, and the winning ticket is about to come out. In fact, this person is €2,000 better off. 1239 1239. That person has won $2,000. You've won it. You don't have to. We want to get you. We want to speak to you. But my point is it's not like some competitions where you have to say a phrase that pays or anything like that. You have won $2,000. 1239.
You're a winner.
You are a winner. Right. Okay. So the lines are back open again, by the way. So if you want to have 5 chances to win, there's $2,000 being given away on John Breslin's show around the Northwest in the next couple of hours. There's $2,000 then on the 21st of August on Jive Time. There's $2,000 then on the home stretch on the 28th. There's $2,000 on the 4th of September, and then €10,000. So if you missed out this morning, please feel free to get your tickets now. Could be your lucky ticket. 1 ticket, €15. You can get 5 for 50, and you will have 5 chances to win. So it's great, isn't it? €2,000. A lovely wee lift. I'd love it.
Brilliant. And what's more impressive, I think you did that from memory there, Greg.
You think? You think?
I was so impressed. I'm thinking, how's he getting all this?
How's he getting those dates? I possibly could have, but thanks to the team, I had that in front of me because I'm terrible on dates, especially when they cross over the end of a month into the next month.
Yeah, well, it's exactly. But no, that's great. Listen, I love this part of the year because there's a lot of costs involved in going back to school, credit cards from holidays, day trips, etc., cost of living. But so to get $2,000 on a Friday.
I get you, and I do get that angle, but I'll tell you what I'd be doing. I'd be heading down to Atlantic Traveller onto loveholidays.ie, and I'd be booking myself a little all-inclusive, so I would.
That would sound nice.
Is this person on? Okay, we're waiting. That's what I'd do.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame you. I'd
go to the southwest of Lanzarote, all-inclusive.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you know what? It's a nice temperature there at the moment.
Annette, Rob, are you there?
I am, yes.
Hello, Annette. It's Greg Hughes at Highland Radio here. How are you keeping?
I'm keeping good.
I've some good news for you, but it also could be bad news. It depends on what you think of the person I'm about to mention. Congratulations, you're the first ticket out in our €20,000 mega cash draw. You've won. Your ticket that you bought has won $2,000. Congratulations.
Well, that's brilliant. Thank you.
€2,000 better off. Now, the only thing is, shall I mention the name that's on it, or should we just leave it between you and me, Annette? Because it's
no, you can mention it. No, you can mention the name. Yeah,
Anne-Marie Gallagher. It's her name that you put on the ticket. So, does that $2,000 go to her? Do you split it? What happens here?
That $2,000 goes to her, and I'm delighted for her.
Oh, fantastic! And is she a relation of yours, Annette? Or
She's my best friend. Yeah.
Oh wow!
What a best friend to have.
So, and it's her birthday next Friday. So it's a wee treat for her.
Oh
too.
my word, Anne Marie Gallagher. The pressure's on now for you to organise a trip away for you and Annette. Isn't that it, Annette?
Oh well, we'll do something. Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, congratulations. 1239.
That is brilliant.
Yeah, and you'll pass on the good news to Anne Marie.
I will, certainly. Thank you so much.
All right, congratulations. When did you get your ticket, Annette?
I think it was last week.
Okay, very good. You were one of the early ones in. And are you normally lucky, or is this...
My daughter won on the last ones as well, the last draw, so I bought her the ticket as well.
How much did she win?
She won 1,000.
Okay, well, you've beaten her by 1,000 anyway. Congratulations.
Luck
Annette.
comes
Wow,
3
that's
times as well,
brilliant.
Greg.
Yeah,
3
exactly.
times. So.
Well, your ticket's going back in. So either Anne-Marie could win or you could win. Annette, just out of interest, what's your favourite radio station?
Oh, Highland Radio.
Oh, you are the best. Listen, safe journey, Annette. That's Annette Robb from Newtown.
Thank you so much.
Well done to you. And her best friend, Anne-Marie Gallagher, is the winning name. And Annette is giving the £2,000 to Anne-Marie because it's hers.
Question for you, Greg.
Go ahead.
So, if you bought 5 tickets and my name was up, would you give it to me?
You would have to, because to be honest with you, the hardest part would have been writing your name down to begin with. But yeah, of course I would.
I'd be I'd be happy for my friend, right? But really inside, I'd be saying, why is it on my ticket? Why is it on my ticket?
But I think, Annette, and this is not a commentary on you, but I think there are some people, and Annette comes across to me like that, there are some people that actually get genuine joy from the happiness in others.
Absolutely.
And I got that impression of her that she thinks, do you know what?
Yeah.
This
she's
is lovely
delighted.
for Anne-Marie. It's Anne-Marie Gallagher's birthday next Friday.
Yeah, what a
They're
birthday.
best friends.
Yeah.
Right? So, come on, Anne-Marie.
Okay.
Do you know
so
what I'm
you're going to
saying?
buy me a ticket for, say, the Donegal GA draw? Will you buy one for me, will you?
Ooh, God. Well, I'll keep it in-house.
I'll buy one for you if you buy one for me. How's
yeah.
that?
All right, not so bad. Right, let's get that ticket back in the draw,
Yeah.
John, because we doubted you one time. We have seen the same ticket come out twice,
could.
so let's get it back in, Sean.
Okay.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks very much, Greg.
Okay, and there you go. Anne-Marie, you're back in. Who's to say? That draw drum will be well shook by the time it gets to Rafo on those roads. But you still have a chance, or you still have a chance to get your name in that draw drum for this afternoon's €2,000. Coming up between 12 and 1, John Breslin around the Northwest will be making someone else's day. So get in touch with us right now by contacting the website highlandradio.com. Buy your tickets there. There's still 5 draws, by the way, not to be sniffed at. $2,000 today, but also if you want to give us a call, 07491 25,000, we can do that, or you can call up to us. Customer Service Awards, what's the reaction been like so far? I love to see on Facebook businesses saying, give us a nomination. I love that side of it.
It's been insane. There's over 2,000
What's she
nominations
waiting for?
already. She's waiting to get this drum go to the Rafo.
We all just relax. Oh, there you go, Corinne.
Yeah. Well done, Corinne. Well done. Well done.
It's
I know. It's
floating
looking
there.
left
It's
here.
freaking me out.
So yeah, over 2,000 nominations in less than 24 hours, which is
Wow.
brilliant.
Okay,
Absolutely brilliant.
so 2,000 individual nominations of businesses.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there might be multiples, but that's astonishing.
It's actually ahead of last year already. So what
Just as well, while we're in a plug-a-thon, get onto our website and click the Customer Service Awards. And what it really is about is saying thank you to a business that you've used to say, you know what, you looked after us, you did a great job, and you deserve recognition. Simple as that, costs you nothing, just a little bit of your time, and we've really gone out of our way to make that as short as possible. So get involved in that. Are you going to Rafo?
No, I'm heading for Dunfanaghy. We have a big day down there today.
That's right. Is it too late to enter?
It's a bit full. Yeah, I think if you wanted to play early afternoon, you'd be fine. But after 2 o'clock,
because this is the Ronald McDonald House Golf Classic. It's sponsored by iMotors, and it's at the Dunfanaghy Golf Club. It is today. It's probably too late, but listen, for those teams that have entered, they got a round of golf for £50 a skull. And that includes dinner and entertainment, and the entertainment is Sean singing
My
Sweet
Way
Caroline.
and My Way. I've got 4 songs now, Greg. I'm getting better.
I argue you've got 1.5. And there's prizes and all that jazz. That's going to be a good evening.
It's going to be a great day, and you know what? It's a fabulous charity. I'm delighted that we're involved in it, and we're going to raise a lot of money today. There's already been sponsorship. Business have been very good, supportive. So, yeah, hopefully it stays dry. And I suppose the last thing I'm going to wish you is the best of luck in our team today.
Yes, me, you, David, and your middle son.
Owen Quinn, yeah.
Owen Quinn, yeah.
He's
okay.
away practicing as we speak.
Is he?
Yeah, because he thinks that he's going to have to be
So,
extremely good.
what is the rules? Do we all just hit our balls?
Yeah, it's a way of putting it, yeah.
But, like,
So
is it...
It is each shot. You play each shot. But it's the best two scores count, so on each hole. So
Okay, right, so you're contributing throughout the whole 18.
Yeah.
Brilliant,
And then
but you play your ball to the end. It's
you
not
do, and then there's a couple of things as well where...
Is there any nearest the pins?
Par threes, I was just going to say
Excellent.
that. Every par three is the nearest the pin, so
Excellent,
that'll be a good
exciting.
competition.
Longest drive, which hole?
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And
possibly
sorry
the
about
one
that,
thing
Greg.
I may have had a chance in.
But
at
you
least
have
in
the
the
thing is,
ball.
though, you have to put it in the fairway.
Oh,
so
right,
that's you
okay.
out.
Right, okay. So
Last
the
thing
beach
is there's a
doesn't count.
yellow ball. You'll love the yellow ball.
Yeah.
Where each player takes the yellow ball for a hole, and you have to combine the scores. It's a nightmare. The earlier we get rid of that ball today, the better.
And how do you just drive it into the sea, or how do you
just
get rid of it?
Just get rid of it, because it's the worst score you'll get at every
Get
hole.
that trombola to refill, will you? One
We
of us
will.
anyway. Okay, good
Thanks,
luck.
Greg.
See you later. Right, it is 10:32. We're going to take a quick break because we've still got live music coming up for you. Really pleased for Anne-Marie. £2,000 better off. The lines are back open again. There's still 5 draws, folks. So, you can get involved right now.
The Greg Hughes Show is proudly sponsored by McCullough Jewelers, Letterkenny. Planning to pop the question? Visit their wedding and engagement weekend, 14th to the 16th of August, for bespoke ring design consultations, free jewellery health checks, and complimentary ring cleaning. ormccullough.com.
What if I told you that every €5 Tesco Club Card voucher could be turned into €15 worth of prepaid top-up or credit against your bill? Plus, you get even better value on handsets and plans with Club Card prices. Plus, you can keep racking up those Club Card points by earning every time you top up or pay your phone bill. Get the same super fast 5G coverage and reliability of a big network, but with the great value and service of Tesco. Tesco Mobile. Every little helps. T's and C's apply. 5G subject to network coverage, plan and handset. See tescomobile.ie.
Did you know that you can earn up to €14,000 tax-free if you rent a room in your own home to students? If you're in Letterkenny and have accommodation to rent, maybe a house, apartment, digs or a room, the Students' Union at ATU would love to hear from you. Email suwelfare.donegal@atu.ie to have your property added to their student accommodation list. For more details, see atu.ie/accommodation.
Summer Sessions Letterkenny continues this weekend with Cian Ducrow, The Proclaimers and Deacon Blue, and Memories. And next Saturday the 22nd with UB40. Don't miss Live at the Big Top this August. Get tickets at summer-sessions.ie or follow Summer Sessions Letterkenny on social media.
Looking for a course to study in September? Discover CAFRE, the College of Agriculture, Food and Rural Enterprise, Northern Ireland's specialist agri-food and land-based college. Study agriculture, food, horticulture, equine, floristry, veterinary nursing and land-based engineering. With 3 campuses at Greenmount in Antrim, Loughery in Cookstown and Enniskillen. We've a range of courses available from level 2 through to master's degree. Visit cafre.ac.uk to find out more.
The Easy Living Furniture mid-season sale is here. With absolutely everything reduced, now's the perfect time to transform your home. Save on luxurious sofas, beautiful dining furniture, stylish bedroom collections, home accessories and so much more. But don't wait, shop early for the best choice. The Easy Living Furniture mid-season sale is now on. Shop today at Easy Living Furniture, Crescent Link Retail Park, Derry, Londonderry.
The Greg Hughes Show, sponsored by McCullough Jewelers, Main Street, Letterkenny. Discover your perfect engagement or wedding ring at their wedding and engagement weekend, 14th, 15th and 16th of August. Appointments recommended. Find out more at ormccullough.com.
Sometimes it's not the driver that chooses the car. It's the car that chooses the driver. A connection beyond reason. Perhaps it's the Cupra Fermentor or Terramar Tribe editions, featuring distinctive design upgrades, exclusive matte color options, and irresistible plug-in hybrid performance. Or discover a new kind of power with the all-electric Cupra Born or Tavascan. See our latest offers, including our 5-year warranty at Cupra.com. Cupra. It's waiting for you. Terms and conditions apply.
Your local Cupra dealer is DMG Motors, Clara Road, Donegal Town. Telephone 074 9721 396.
For the biggest names in perfume and aftershaves, visit McGee's Chemist Letterkenny. Dolce & Gabbana, Paco Rabanne, Carolina Herrera, Calvin Klein, Jimmy Choo and Burberry, Ariana Grande, Jean-Paul Gaultier, Vera Wang and many more. From timeless classics to celebrity favourites, there's a perfume or aftershave for everyone at McGee's Chemist Letterkenny and online at mcgees.ie.
Who's watching your home while you're asleep, at work, or on holiday? With the Sheridan Security Alarm System, you can be assured of round-the-clock monitoring. Our central monitoring station is on duty 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, monitoring homes and businesses in the Northwest for intruder, fire, panic, and medical signals, giving you the peace of mind you deserve. Sheridan Security Systems, Bonagee, Letterkenny, protecting what you value most. Call us for a free quotation on 9126. 6025.
Find me somebody to love. Better sleep starts at Dreams Crescent Link Retail Park, Derry. Try our exclusive Sleep Match technology and get €100 off when you spend over €850. Choose from hundreds of beds and mattresses with advice from our sleep experts. Visit Dreams Crescent Link Retail Park today.
Highland Radio weather updates with McElhenny's. Get back to school sorted with our collection of school uniforms, shoes and accessories. Visit our kids department in-store or discover our back to school shop online at mcelhennys.com.
Right, quite cloudy today with limited sunny spells and with a few showers feeding in from the Atlantic. Temperatures 17 to 21 degrees, coolest in the northwest with light breezes. So that is the weather forecast for today. Right, now, as I say, still plenty to come on in the programme. Please do not go anywhere because we've got loads to keep you informed and loads to keep you entertained, including some live music for you. I'm going to give you a brief preview of this week's podcast. And our guest is Councillor Jerry McMoneagle. And he joined us in recent times there just to run through his life in Derry. You know, growing up in the Troubles, his interactions with the RUC at that time and how he found himself in Donegal. And we're going to hear a little clip of the podcast, which is available for you at 11 o'clock. And I suppose in this podcast, he's kind of picking up, you know, what life was like in the North and in terms of, you know, his dad's employment, etc.
But I remember he got a job in Belfast in the shipyard. And that was great news in our house because it was a long-term employment. And away he went, and then that Monday morning at 6:30, and he was back in the house around 12:30 or 1 o'clock, where he was put off. Him and 3 other men that went with him, his friends, were put off the job because they were Catholics. And so there's that discrimination, and we grew up with that. If around the 12th of July, if you were wearing like a green pair of trousers or a green jacket, you weren't allowed into the town. The town centre was effectively sealed off. There was barricades, armed soldiers, searched people. If you'd go into your town centre, you had to go through turnstiles and be searched and all. So growing up, it wasn't the same as growing up in a lot of other towns like Letterkenny or Donegal Town or anywhere else down here. But in the north, like we grew up with that.
And regardless of even what the numbers were, then you would have felt like a minority.
Yeah, very much so. And there's no argument. The facts are there. The statistics, the Catholics were discriminated against. In the city I was born in, it was gerrymandered to suit a unionist minority. So all the facts, and it's there to be seen. The whole thing around the university, which probably was the catalyst for the civil rights movement. It was the final straw, being located in Coleraine, and that where it was actually should have been in the second largest city in the 6 counties, which is Derry.
That was really that has far more political significance in your view than many might realise.
Yeah.
Can you explain a bit more as to why that would have?
Well,
in the day.
It was a real opportunity again, and as we all know, education is a great leveller, and it opens up so many doors for you when you get that education. And to be continually discriminated against, and then all of a sudden you were getting an expectation that a new university was being built and would be built in Derry. And then at the last minute that was pulled from under you, and it was relocated in a strongly unionist area like Coleraine. that just said it all, that, you know, we were definitely second-class citizens. And I think for people then who were at that time and maybe involved in politics, or they said, you know, we need to do something about this. And I think that was the catalyst for the civil rights movement. You know, the people started speaking out more. They started then protest more, the one man, one vote. Everything else just sort of lined up behind that. Because if you refuse education, then you refuse the pathway to life.
And that was so blatant. It wasn't a feeling. It wasn't a sense. It wasn't an experience. It was a bricks and mortar reality.
Yeah, and that come at a time when Derry, which was a major port, was in decline. The investment was taken away from it. And I might have been young at the time, but I could see the decline of the Derry port. You know, we could see the ships coming in regularly, the cattle, the grain, you know, the timber, the coal, and all of a sudden that just started getting smaller and smaller. And
there you go. It's a fascinating conversation, actually. It's a fascinating insight. And we've got guests from the world of entertainment. We've got guests from, you know, who've gone through experiences in their lives through loss or joy or whatever it might be. And we also get the politicians on, and it's a different type of a story. You know, it's not me, you know, challenging their political beliefs or ideologies or what have you. It's people from all different political backgrounds just sort of having their say as well too. So that's live from 11 a.m. It's on our website, highlandradio.com, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can watch it too from 11 a.m. on the YouTube channel. Just search The Greg Hughes Show. Killian McLaughlin's with me. Hi, Killian.
How you doing, Greg? Thanks for having me
all right.
on.
How are you?
Not so bad. Buzzing this morning now. I'm after releasing a track this morning, so I'm pretty buzzing, but hopefully I get the track out and get good promotion on it, and it does well. It's been on the long finger for a long time, so it has. It's been about the guts of a year and a half trying to get this year one out, but hopefully get the ball running, get a lot of tunes out.
Brilliant stuff. And you know, we've had you in studio. I don't know how long ago it is, but it's long enough for me to know that this music stuff's been a big passion of yours for quite some time.
Definitely. Growing up I was always playing music. I started playing drums originally because my dad was a drummer, and then he played guitar, and then I did a bit of singing when I was younger, and then I was in secondary school. My teacher started telling me to sing again, so started doing a lot of singing, started doing a bit of gigging, and then now I'm in college doing songwriting, and I'm loving it. So
how has that worked for you, sort of being around other creatives? You know, because there's a process. You can have ideas and you can have, you know, words, but it's translating them then into music. Like there's a process, there's a skill to that.
Yeah, definitely. It is. I like being up home too and being around musicians up home, but see down in BIM in the college I'm in, you're surrounded by a lot of like-minded people. You do get you obviously get people that aren't that into it too, but there's a lot of people that are driven in the same way just to do music, and they're not interested in anything else, and they're writing all the time, and they're looking to do gigs. Like, you know, if you're looking to play a gig, there's always another band or another person that's looking to support or looking to play with you or something like that down there.
Yeah.
And Dublin obviously is great for exposure and for like just
well,
the
you
amount
never
of
know who's
heads
in the
down there.
audience either.
That's it too.
Yeah.
That can happen up here as well, but in Dublin especially, like that was kind of one of the main reasons I want to get down, because you could play a gig anywhere in Dublin and there could be someone random you don't know who you could just be lying
and the
on.
audiences can be very receptive, they can be tough, but it's about honing your skills. It's like anything. If you're a carpenter, you know, the way you get good at it is you keep doing it. I mean, you can have that raw skill, but you know, that building your own stage presence and your own style, it's a constant evolution.
Definitely. It's all about confidence. I always say that to anybody, like whether it's playing music in your room or going to an open mic night or playing going on the radio or whatever, like as if you have, like I've been doing the gigs for like 3 years now, and when I first started doing it, I would have gone up and just played the song, not said a word, you know, kind of a thing. And now I'd say I've got definitely a bit more chat about me, like, you know,
you have to realise there's more to the show.
That's it, but it's pure confidence. It's not your abilities, nothing to do with it, like.
Yeah, and it sounds to me like you've got a lot of stuff now, and it's pent up. You just want to get it out there now.
That's it, yeah, because it's the first song I put out of March last year. And then it's not until now if the second song come out. But since then, I've written a lot of songs, so I have a lot of songs there ready to go, you know.
We're going to hear Peace of Mind. Are you going to do one or two? Do you want to just do Peace of Mind? Or are you going
I'll
to
do Peace of Mind,
okay,
yeah.
Well, and tell us about this song.
So, Peace of Mind, I wrote it in college last year, and it's about... I'd be very kind of dopey forgetful. So like at times, so I'd be well to forget something, and it's more about forgetting, like going through life and forgetting certain things, or forgetting what you did yesterday, but remembering one thing or one person or a moment in your life from from ages ago. Sorry.
It's all right. I understand when
apologize.
You're in that passion space. I get that.
But you know, that's kind of it's just about that.
Yeah.
Being forgetful, but remembering certain things in certain times in your life, and I feel like everybody's kind of like that too. You forget something, like you forget.
And we're in
what
the
you
summer
ate
period
this morning.
now, and some of that's kind of the summer vibe, isn't it?
It
A lot
is,
of people
yeah.
Reflect on.
Yeah,
on those.
I feel like it's a song that's it's driven like that, and I feel like it would be good for the car and stuff like that there in the summer, and the chorus is about being in the car and stuff. So.
Now, we're going to hear a version of it. It's fantastic to get an acoustic version, to get Killian into the studio, but I can't encourage you enough that when you've finished listening to it, get on to search out Killian McLaughlin, Linktree actually, Linktree, linktr.ie, but that's to sort of put all the links in there.
Yeah.
You're on Spotify, are
That's
you?
everything. That link will give you my Facebook and my Instagram, my TikTok, and then the Spotify link or DistroKid link will take you to Apple Music or Amazon or Spotify, anything at all.
Okay.
So,
right,
the whole works.
someone's Joe Dex messaged me. Hard to beat a few Friday morning F-bombs.
Apologies.
Sorry,
apologies.
I had to reference the text because otherwise I'd have just been laughing and it would have made no sense. Listen, Killian, you're all right, buddy. All right. So here we go. Peace of Mind. Now your guitar is going to be coming out through the desk, isn't it? So I don't know if you need headphones or that sound will do you. Right, go on.
Stick
Take
the
it
headphones
away.
on.
Are you sure? Yeah.
Unfortunately,
okay.
I'm supposed to have a loop station and a bit more going on here, but
technical difficulties.
A bit of technical difficulties. That happens. Right. This is Peace of Mind, everybody. Morning to evening, not a clue is beyond me. I can't see through these intoxicating movie screens. I'm not sure, I can't explain it, just how you feel. Left my dignity down at Jackie's bar next door. I'll drop in tomorrow if my boo gets any dough. Wear rich hazel hair in my lens, I swore I've seen before. With my mind in pieces, I never seem to pick 'em up. I wanna see you behind. Reminiscing to our songs in the car, we put 'em on. Shit said seldom Bobby sitting here out in this one. I can still hear your voice I used to sing along. Not a lot in my head gets through, and I can't forget about you. Oh yeah. 4 in the morning, couldn't even tell the day. Can't mind what caused it, Ma said I should lay off the haze. Head's like a rocket, someone tell me what's my name. Oh no. With my mind in pieces, I never seem to pick 'em up. I wanna see you behind. Reminiscing to our songs in the car, we put 'em on. Shit to tell them Bobby sitting here out in this one. I can still hear your voice I used to sing along. Not a lot in my head gets through it, I can't forget about you. Oh yeah. With my mind in pieces, I never seem to pick 'em up. I wanna see you behind. With my mind in pieces, I never seem to pick 'em up. I wanna see you behind. Reminiscing listen to songs in the car. We put them on. Should tell them Bobby sitting here riding this one. I can still hear your voice. I used to sing along. Not a lot in my head gets through, and I can't forget about you. Oh yeah, I can't forget about you.
Killian, that's brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic stuff.
Got out of tune there, maybe, but
were you?
No, maybe.
I don't think
allegedly.
So. I don't think so. You were at the Full Maritime Festival in Derry recently.
Yes.
I presume most of you gigging, as we've already referenced, is down the country at this stage because it suits where you're located.
Well, I'm kind of coming up. I've been coming up the road every weekend from college to gig because I have you pre-booked the gigs kind of the year before. Like this time of the year, we'll be booking for next year.
Yeah.
So we have them pre-booked. So I'll get a couple of gigs down in Dublin during the week. It's actually handier getting them during the week because it's a lot busier at the weekend. But I need to get in. It's all agencies down there, CC. So I need to get in with like one of the booking agents.
Because you're in there though, you see, and then when you. It's all about breakthrough. So when you break that through, then you're in.
Exactly.
Which is brilliant stuff.
I need to get busking too, like Grafton Street and stuff, because you see the amount of people that have busked there and they've just blown up. Like even the likes of like Glenn Hanser, God rest him, like, you know, just people like that there that just buskers, like.
Yeah. And that really talks to actually having to do the legwork. You know what I mean? You just have to be. Listen, it's great to see your career development, Killian, and it's only going one way, and that's up. Continued success. Get out there and support that single now. We'll link Killian's link tree, which is just a link that contains a series of links, but you can search out Killian McCann McLaughlin online, and I'm sure they'll come across your stuff. What's the release schedule now? That's Peace of Mind. That's out now. When do you want to have your next track out? And
I have a song that I actually like. I don't like a lot of my songs. There's a song called Marilyn Monroe, but then I was speaking to my cousin after I played it at a gig, and Marilyn Monroe's trademark, so I don't think I can release that song.
I'm not so sure about that.
I don't know. I looked it up and it said
you're. I think, as far as I'm aware, you have artistic license.
Yeah, maybe.
So I think you'd be okay.
I'll have to check it with Marilyn herself, maybe.
Well, I'll tell you, if that's the case, Billy Joel's banjaxed with his song.
Yeah, true. No, but I have a lot of tunes. I need to get them recorded and get them out. That's it.
No, I think you're okay. You are allowed an artistic usage as well. Brilliant stuff, Killian. Thank you so much for calling.
Thanks very much, Greg. I really appreciate
Continued
the
success. And any gigs coming up in the near future? I don't want to put you on the spot.
No
here
major gigs. I'm playing in the Water's Edge in Rathmullen tonight. If anybody wants to come out and see, and I'm playing in Port Salin and the Stores Bar tomorrow night. If there's any holiday goers up in Port Salin,
it's going to be a busy night.
Sunday, unfortunately.
Well, unfortunately, you love it. Yeah, you'll love it. All right, well done. That's Killian McCann McLaughlin. A few people messaging in already, sounding great. Killian, brilliant. That's actually from Mark Black too, which is high praise too. Dolores, well done, lad, and on it goes. Okay, you can make your way out whenever you want to. I just have to wrap things up, Killian. Thank you very much, though, for your time. And go on to our Facebook page, by the way, and we'll link Killian's socials there as well. So just to let you know that John Breslin is live on Around the Northwest from Dolan, Spire and Rafo. They're celebrating a year in business, which is actually really quite a significant milestone in this day and age. So call in to Dolan's, by the way. I'm sure they've got plenty of enticements there, not least us. Shannon's with John, and I think Joe as well too. So go in, say hello to the team, get a few pictures if you want, and you'll also be able to watch the next cash draw live because John Breslin has €2,000 to give away on that programme. We've one draw down, 5 to go. Still plenty of reasons to get involved. 07491 25,000 to get your tickets, or go onto the website highlandradio.com. Now, some of your comments coming in over the course of the morning. There are roadworks in Milford and people are using the back roads. This morning it's like the M50. Traffic is flying with no respect for the back road they're on. There are a number of children and elderly using this road to walk and cycle. Please, they say, slow down. Always good advice. We were seeing some of we were commenting on some of the posts underneath posts about Radida Adeleki. A caller says most of the racist comments on the RTE post are getting absolutely slated by other Irish people criticising the racists by commenting on their comments. I think they call that in this day and age ratioing. Right, just to remind you that you can check out the podcast, the Greg Hughes podcast, live for you in about 3.5 minutes on our website across all the podcasting platforms, and you can watch it on YouTube. Councillor Jerry McMonagle, a very interesting story from his time in Derry, coming to Donegal, why he came to Donegal, and so on and so forth. So check that out when it suits you. But here in Radioland, stay tuned because John Bresson, as I mentioned, is coming live from Raffo. But for me, Greg Hughes, Caroline Orr, who researched and produced, and of course Shannon, who works with us diligently on the show. Have a great weekend. We'll chat to you real soon.